Hi there, and thanks for joining us today. Most of the lakes across Minnesota have frozen over, but if it is too late for some of our winter traditions, that's the question. Climatologists say that this is the longest we've waited for lakes to freeze in nearly 150 years. The warm start to winter has forced organizations like the popular Art Shanty projects to push their events back. In fact, that event was supposed to be this weekend, but the ice is still about an inch shy of their goal, pushing it to next weekend.
It is the most isolating season for many people, and we really do what we do to bring people together.
That event will still end as scheduled on February 11th. Once it kicks off, you can expect food trucks and performances. Well, there's certainly another chance for more ice making today, but Ben, it looks like we could get into double-digit temperatures.
Whoa, don't threaten me with a good time. Oh my goodness. You know what? We're actually already did reach the double digits. We are at 11 above for our current air temperature, but we still have that pesky westerly wind that's been breezy, about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Currently 11 above in the state. It's about as warm as it gets across Minnesota, though Laverne is currently at 12 above. But you factor in that wind and we still have sub-zero wind chill value, and that will likely be the case through the remainder of the day today. Here's the temperature and wind chill graph for the next 12 to 15 hours or so. And you can see temperatures dropping back into the single digits. We'll probably start tomorrow morning once again near zero with wind chill values just below zero, but things are relatively quiet. In fact, we're seeing a good amount of sunshine right now. That won't be the case all day today. Some clouds will filter in late, and we're keeping track of a storm system which is bringing heavy snow to the Intermountain West. This will kind of graze us as we head into tomorrow. We'll talk about our chances at seeing some snow falling from the sky coming up. But first, let's toss it back in the warm studio to Cece. Hi, Cece.
Hey, hi, Ben. All right, so we're halfway through the week and the roads still looking great. Glad to report that this morning in north, south, east, west metro, everything looking great. I'll pull up a live cam for us here on Highway 169, coast to our studio in New Hope. Traffic moving along nicely. A good amount of traffic out there for your afternoon commute. Taking a look at some drive times here, 169 going both ways, about 7 minutes, give or take, wherever you're going. So I'll be back with more drive times and more cameras coming up in a few. Alexis.
Cece, thank you. In just over 2 hours, the man charged with the murder of the former mayor of Janesville, Minnesota, is expected in a courtroom. Police say 44-year-old Adam Garrett Roaring fatally stabbed 74-year-old Mark Novak in his home back in August. Today, he's expected to learn if his case has enough evidence to go to trial. Roaring is also charged with attempted murder for severely injuring the victim's wife, Pam Novak. A motive has not been revealed, but the criminal complaint says Roaring is a relative of the victims. We now know the man charged with killing a beloved grocery store cashier in Loring Park last month will wait to go to trial after a competency hearing yesterday. Yesterday, a judge ruled that 44-year-old Taylor Schultz is not fit to stand trial. Court documents reveal he was civilly committed for mental health treatment back in 2021. His criminal case will now be on pause until he's able to continue. Well, just minutes ago, Minneapolis Mayor Frey and the local branch of the SEIU wrapped up a press conference on the future of the downtown area. Now, the union unveiled a plan to bring business and people back to the downtown area, propelling it beyond where it stood before the pandemic. Both say the goal is to listen to workers and create policy to bring everyone together on the project, bringing more workers and better conditions to the area. Developing right now, Princess Kate has been hospitalized after surgery. Kensington Palace says that it was a planned abdominal surgery that was successful. The princess will stay in the London clinic for 2 weeks and will return to her duties after Easter. With less than a week until New Hampshire voters head to the polls, a Republican presidential debate scheduled for tomorrow has been canceled. Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley says she wouldn't take part unless former President Trump did as well. That means Florida Governor Ron DeSantis would be the only candidate in the debate lineup. ABC made the decision to cancel. As we look to New Hampshire, the biggest question is, can the other GOP candidates catch former President Donald Trump? Garrett Hake shows us where they stand right now.
We now have our eyes on a very special place. You know what that place is? New Hampshire.
It's game on in the Granite State, with Donald Trump slamming Nikki Haley in his first rally since his dominating Iowa win.
As you know, Nikki Haley in particular is counting on the Democrats and liberals to infiltrate your Republican primary.
The former president joined for the first time by former rival Vivek Ramaswamy, who dropped out of the race after finishing 4th in Iowa.
I would endorse Donald J. Trump for president of the United States.
Mr. Trump arriving in New Hampshire after spending the day in court in New York City, attending jury selection in the second defamation case filed against him by writer E. Jean Carroll, in which he denies any wrongdoing. Mr. Trump was found civilly liable last year for sexually abusing her in the 90s and later defaming Carroll. With New Hampshire's first-in-the-nation primary now less than a week away, and the next major contest in South Carolina a month later, Mr. Trump's remaining rivals trying different strategies to gain ground on him.
We're putting Iowa in the rearview mirror.
In New Hampshire, Nikki Haley, trailing Trump narrowly in some state polls, appearing with the state's popular GOP governor, casting the race here as a two-person showdown between her and the former president.
We have to leave the negativity and the baggage behind and go forward with new solutions for the future.
While Ron DeSantis, who finished a distant second in Iowa, took his campaign to South Carolina Tuesday, a state where Trump has led in polls and where Haley served as governor.
Haley, look, she was governor here for 6 years. Can you name major achievements under her tenure?
All while President Biden mocked the GOP field overnight.
I'm still the only person to ever beat Donald Trump, and I'm looking forward to do it again for the good of this country.
And that was Garrett Hake reporting. Our chief political reporter, John Groman, will be in New Hampshire as voters head to the polls. Look for live coverage on the 23rd on the GOP fight, as well as Minnesota's Dean Phillips' challenge to President Biden. We're taking a live look at the Capitol today, where President Biden is meeting with lawmakers in hopes of avoiding a government shutdown. The deadline for some form of funding extension is midnight on Friday. Right now, Congress is facing a potential vote on a supplemental spending bill. It would send funds to Israel, Ukraine, Taiwan, and the U.S. border with Mexico. House Republicans are split on the bill, some saying it signals a surrender to Democrats. In Minnesota, we're seeing more changes in leadership. State Representative Pat Garofalo says he won't run for re-election. He's been representing parts of Dakota and Goodhue counties since 2004. Meanwhile, Minnesota Supreme Court Justice Margaret Chuchich says that she's retiring this summer. She was appointed 12 years ago and is the first openly gay person to be seated on the bench.